viewers to this first of 4 videos on the theme of switching from gas to electricity in buildings in Eugene, Oregon. I'm Betsy Hitz, a volunteer with 350 Eugene, and I have with me today Jim New and Doug Bovee. Jim has been educating himself and city leaders and county leaders and many others on all things climate for over 20 years. And Doug Bovee, as a medical doctor and member of Physicians for Social Responsibility, is especially interested in the effects of methane gas and global heating on health. Okay, we're going to start with you, Jim. Your first question: could you describe the process by which gas is extracted and gets to our homes and our businesses?
Yes, oil and fossil gas are extracted from the ground through vertical well drilling, now advanced to subsurface horizontal drilling called hydraulic fracturing, or fracking in short. A mix of sand, water, and chemicals is pumped into the well, fracturing the rock and releasing the oil and the gas. Fossil gas is then distributed to the customers through pipelines.
Fracking sounds like a very labor and resources intensive process. What are the problems inherent in fracking?
Yes, good question. 70 to 140 billion gallons of water were used on 35,000 wells in the United States each year, and 4 million pounds of sand per well. There are millions of abandoned, decommissioned, and contaminated wells across the United States that are using taxpayer dollars to remediate because fossil fuel companies are not held liable. Risks associated with fracking are domestic and groundwater contamination and methane and gas leakage. 2.3% of gas traveling through pipes is leaked.
Could you talk more about methane as a component of gas obtained by fracking?
You bet. 87% of fossil gas is made up of methane, which is 84 times more potent than carbon dioxide in a 20-year period. This has caused 30% of global heating. Methane is generated and released into the atmosphere through both human activities, such as the fossil fuel industry, landfills and manure management systems, and natural or biogenic processes, such as animal digestion and fermentation and oxygen, and poor environments like wetlands. Human cause activity accounts for 50 to 65% of total U.S. emissions of methane per year. The fossil fuel industry alone accounts for 39% of the emissions.
Though so-called natural gas is of nature, not human-produced or synthetic, climate-concerned people use the terms fossil gas, frack gas, or most recently methane gas, as these terms more accurately denote what this gas is, while the gas industry sticks with natural gas to promote the strong positive feelings we have for anything labeled natural. Could you talk about the gas industry's efforts to stay in business?
Yeah, the fossil fuel industry is greenwashing gas as a bridge fuel from coal until renewable energy sources can compete. They also label their product natural gas in order to make it more acceptable to the public. However, fossil gas is still federally subsidized to continue production, where renewable energy such as wind and solar are not. Wind and solar are less expensive than fossil gas and currently operate worldwide at utility scale. Locally, EWEB has assured the City Council that they can provide adequate energy resources if fuel switching from gas to electrical appliances.
Finally, what parting words do you have for our viewers?
Well, there's 2 parts. Locally, according to Eugene's 2017 greenhouse gas inventory, 30,000 frack gas customers create 11 times more greenhouse gas emissions than 86,000 electricity customers. 32% of greenhouse gas emissions in buildings or in Eugene are from buildings. And finally, every major study on meeting climate goals at state, national, and international levels call for fueling buildings with renewable electricity rather than fossil fuels.
Thank you, Jim. Now, Doug, it's your turn. Gas is burned in Eugene homes and businesses to heat spaces and water, dry our clothes, and cook our food. Tell us about adverse health effects associated with these uses.
So the biggest problem with gas in our homes is the pollution caused by combustion of methane. And in the case of heating or drying or hot water heating, most of that combustion pollution is vented outside. But in the case of cooking, it's not. It's vented into our kitchen. And that's the problem. The problem is the combustion of gas in the kitchen on cook stoves and ovens and the resulting pollution effects of that. So what happens is nitrogen dioxide is one of the components of that. Because of that, there's a significant increased risk of asthma and asthma attacks in children because of that nitrogen dioxide.
So if we are cooking with gas, what can we do to improve air quality inside our homes?
So the main thing is to get rid of those pollutants. And so an exhaust fan that works, an effective exhaust fan that works is something that can be done on a temporary basis. The best thing to do would be to get rid of the gas stove altogether. But short of that, we need to get functioning, effective exhaust fans. And so if it doesn't work, get it fixed. If you don't have one, get one. And once you have it, turn it on. It doesn't work unless you turn it on.
All right. And your final question. As a physician, what are you most concerned about regarding global heating here in Oregon?
So thank you for that question, because it's not just about our indoor air, it's about everything about global heating. And the two things that really worry me are smoke and high heat. The smoke leads to increased heart and lung disease, the smoke from wildfires especially. And then, like the heat dome that we had in the end of June, when temperatures skyrocketed for an extended period of time, 96 Oregonians died from that excessive heat. We've got to stop this. We've got to do everything we can to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, to try to reduce this heating of our atmosphere.
Thanks, Jim and Doug, and thanks to Peter Dragovich, our videographer, and thanks to you for watching this first video. I hope that you learned something about methane gas and global heating and that you will share it with others. I invite you to watch the next video in this series, in which Dylan and friends will talk about electrification, the solution to our methane gas pains. And for more information and to find out how you can take action on climate, visit 350eugene.org, fossilfreeeugene.org, powerpastfrackgas.org, psr.org, and electrifynow.net. Thank you.